What if I told you the radio industry is still as dynamic today as it was in the 90s, but with a twist? Let me explain. Brett Hall's recent move to Big Frog 104 in Utica isn't just another name change on a playlist, it's a microcosm of how radio is evolving. Think about this, Hall brings 13 years of experience, including stints as a traffic manager and afternoon host. That's not just a resume bullet, it's a blueprint for how stations are now prioritizing multi-skilled hosts who can navigate both on-air and behind-the-scenes roles. Personally, I think this reflects a shift where stations aren't just selling ads anymore, they're curating experiences. What makes this really interesting is how someone who managed traffic data can now translate that into real-time, engaging content for listeners. It's like blending analytics with storytelling, which I believe is the future of radio. Now, why did this vacancy open up? Dave Wheeler's move to Rosa Communications isn't just a lateral career shift, it's a sign of how talent is now fluid across clusters. In my opinion, this kind of movement shows the industry is still a tight-knit network, but with a new layer of strategic positioning. Stations aren't just competing for airwaves anymore, they're competing for talent that can bridge traditional and digital audiences. A detail I find fascinating is how Hall's previous role at Galaxy Media, a company known for its hot AC format, might influence his approach to Big Frog's country vibe. Could he bring a fresh edge to the station's content? That's the kind of question that gets me thinking about how formats are blurring. And let's not forget Lance Venter, the guy behind Radio Insight. His work isn't just reporting news, it's shaping how we perceive the industry's pulse. What this really suggests is that reliable, long-term coverage is still crucial, even as platforms evolve. But here's a deeper thought: if you take a step back, the fact that Venter has been covering radio since the mid-90s means he's seen every trend, pirate radio, streaming, podcasts, and yet here we are, still talking about local stations adapting. This raises a bigger question: can traditional radio survive by embracing the very changes it once resisted? I'd argue yes, but only if they're willing to reinvent themselves like Hall is doing. So, what does all this mean for the average listener? It means your morning commute might soon feature a host who's not just talking about the weather but also weaving in traffic patterns, local events, and maybe even social media trends. From my perspective, this isn't just about filling a time slot, it's about creating a more immersive experience. One thing that immediately stands out to me is how these moves highlight the industry's resilience. Even in a world dominated by streaming, radio is finding ways to stay relevant by leveraging human connection. And that, my friends, is a story worth listening to, literally.